Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is try to bring about conversations of a psychological, mental, and emotional connective for a variety of reasons, and we try to do that as often as we can. Sometimes several times per week. We've got over 750 of these available for your listening pleasure now. Hopefully, that will continue to add over the summer. Provided I don't need to make a quick move or anything of that general nature. In any event, please feel free to reach out if you're looking for coaching. There's a couple of ways to do that at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, you can get in touch with my contact information and go from there. In any event, the concept of today's video or audio is love addiction, and this is something I help a lot of people with. And the idea of being addicted to the concept and the emotional aspects of love is something that certainly over the past 40, 50 years has become increasing since the dawn of television and the dawn of romance stories that make things, grand gestures, iconic, and society has certainly changed, over that. Let's say, I think TV came out in the late 30s, so certainly in the last 60 to 80 years, we've gotten progressively worse, and certainly in the last 30 years, we have become much more love-dependent as a society, and it's not, most of it isn't love, it's actually relationship dependency. So, a couple things to look at there. If you're creating fantasies of relationship that you wish you could have or will have with a person without actually building something with them. So you stay in the fantasy world in part because the fear of rejection is too much and or because they have not given you the level of indication that you think they should as it relates to their interest in you, and you find that your thoughts of them are repeated or obsessive. So it's very nice, especially when the beginning of a idea of a relationship begins, to get lost in the idea of just spending time with a person or talking with them a lot, or having physical or emotional intimacy with them. However, when a person is struggling to stay in the real world, in the tangible world, it can be extremely likely for them to get into the oxytocin high related to the emotions related to love, and trick oneself into putting that person on a pedestal, therein creating the illusion that they have no flaws. This is especially dangerous when you do begin to have a relationship with the person, because red flags in the relationship or incompatibilities will be less valuable and less likely and less visible to you as you begin to look at the process of love addiction. In reality, you're not actually invested in the person as much as you believe you are. Instead, you are invested in the idea of the person and the completion of the relationship, and the person, the body in front of you, the meat sack, metaphorically speaking, is just there to fill a role of actually being there. And then the next thing is you may struggle with issues related and connected to emotional dependency upon the person's approval. And that can be extremely problematic because, let's say, they, for example, don't know you exist or don't see you in that way, or are already in another relationship or are looking towards someone else. You're waiting almost indefinitely for something that isn't coming, which ultimately not only will it be negative in terms of the emotional pain for now, but it will jade you potentially from being able to see a healthier relationship option in the future. Then the last thing is waiting upon reciprocation. So, again, back into the fantasy mindset, if a person is love addicted, they're going to come up with reasons that they believe a person has not reciprocated their idea of what love is yet, and they're waiting expectantly for that to eventually happen, even though the person may not even understand that that expectation is upon them and or know that that level of attraction exists. A lot of times people become shy or awkward or introverted, and then the person that they have a crush on or interest in doesn't even know they exist because the actual bond in a real world sense hasn't been made to be able to even kind of move towards that relationship. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.